Good day everyone. So hello again. My name is Ma'am Ricor, discussing the topic about our lesson number 4 entitled Modes and Adaptation in Acquiring Culture. So a few reminders lang po bago tayo magsimula. The first one is to pay attention to the discussion and give an example. Of course, for us to be able to understand the lesson, first and foremost, kailangan nyo makinig, you have to pay attention, and also analyze the given example for us to surely meet the objective of the lesson. Second is prepare your notes, review paper, and assignment. Of course, because they are related to one another. The previous lesson and also our lesson today. Prerequisite to this lesson is knowing the elements of culture. Dapat po, bago mo panoorin tong lesson na to ay it is clear enough to you ano nga ba ang mga elemento ng kultura. Ano nga ba ang mga elements of culture? Next is, it's really important you take notes. Of course, expectedly, tao lang din tayo, nakakalimutan natin ng mga bagay-bagay. But, if we have our notes, madali lang natin mabalikan yung mga lesson na nakakalimutan natin or possibly makalimutan natin. So, let's move forward to our proper discussion. Let us review first what are the two components of culture. So, may dalawa tayong components. Pag nakalagay sa exam, what are the two components of culture? Of course, the first one is material culture and the second one is non-material culture. Any of the two, basta silang dalawa. Two component of culture. Now, let's talk about what is the first one. The first one is the material culture. When we say material culture, tumutukoy ito sa mga physical object. Ibig sabihin, nahahawakan mo resources, spaces that people use to define their culture. It is everything that is created, produced, changed, and utilized by men. In Tagalog, lahat ng ginagawa, lahat ng pinuproduce, pinabago, at napapakinabangan ng mga tao ay included sa material culture. Katulad ng food, delicacies, clothing, artifacts, ano pa ba? Buildings, infrastructures, technology, means of transportation, those are the example of material culture. Now, let's move forward to the next one, which is the non-material culture, which means anything that uses to shape its member thought, feelings, and behavior. Lahat ng hindi mo nahahawakan, pero it represents the culture. Just like, for example, language, values, norms, beliefs, music. Now, let's move forward to the modes of acquiring culture. Paano nga ba natin na-acquire or nagagawa or naisa sa buhay yung kulturang meron tayo? According to our previous lesson, again, culture is not inherited. Hindi ito minana biologically. Okay? Therefore, there is a process paano natin na-acquire ang mga bagay na paulit-ulit nating ginagawa, which symbolizes to be our culture. And first on our list is imitation. What do we mean by the word imitation nga ba? When we say imitate, we copy it. We mimic the behavior, we mimic the activity, we mimic or inuulit-ulit ginagaya natin yung mga ginagalaw, kinikilos, sinasalita, anything ng mga bagay or ng mga tao around us. And according to our lesson, children and adults alike have the tendency to imitate the values, attitudes, language, and all other things in their social environment. Which means more likely, yung mga character na meron tayo, behavior na meron tayo, is influenced by our social environment. Kung ano yung na-observe mo nung bata ka. Like for example, lumaki ka sa environment na very prayerful ang parents. At the same time, people around you or your family really value time, respect other people, always practice saying thank you, saying please. For example, pakiabot nga po, salamat po. Therefore, there is a possibility that you could possibly acquire the behavior, the character na nakikita mo around you. That's why mga anak, it's really important na kapag may mga bata around, let's act properly. Because we will never know, no? Unconsciously, nai-imitate ng mga bata yung mga ginagawa natin. That's why it's very important na merong presence ng guardian kapag mga bata pa. Because hindi sila aware kung bakit nagbe-behave yung mga taong ganon. But at least there is someone who is able to interpret things, actions sa mga bata. Therefore, ma-filter out nila yung mga character, culture, practices na hindi dapat ginagaya at ma-acquire nila or ma-absorb nila yung mga character and practices, cultures na beneficial na manggayahin or ipagpatuloy. Next one is indoctrination. This may take the form of formal training and informal teaching. So, pag sinabi nating formal training, it means the person learns from school anything that is accredited or certified. Sa churches, sa institutions, which means na-acquire niya or nagiging knowledgeable ang isang tao o individual sa kultura, sa values, sa mga paniniwala dahil they voluntarily or sinubmit sila ng mga parents nila dun sa institution na yun to learn formally. On the other hand naman is the informal teaching wherein na-acquire natin or natutunan natin yung kulturang yon because napanood natin, sinearch natin, inaral natin, nabasa natin, wherein, in short, self-study. Kumbaga, kusa mo siyang nakuha without anyone helping you. Someone who is professional. Someone who is certified to teach you about the culture. Walang presence nila, but you're able to acquire the culture kasi napanood mo, na-observe mo, nakita mo, indoctrination, natutunan mo. Napanood mo sa tutorial or sa mga videos na kumakalat ngayon sa social medias, nabasa mo sa books, na meron sa bookstore, sa mga malls. Those are the example of informal teaching. Next is the conditioning. Coming from the word itself, conditioning, kinokondisyon, which can be reinforced through reward and punishment. According nga po sa theory ni Ivan Pavlov during 1890, entitled Classical Conditioning Experiment na isinagawa niya sa dog, na napansin niya may dalawang response yung aso sa magkaibang bagay. So, the first one is yung food and the second one is yung bell. So, we have what we called the first response is unconditioned response para sa food and the second is no response para dun sa bell. Bakit nga ba no response sa bell? Kasi hindi niya naman alam kung how it works. Ano bang meron sa bell? Or what will bell trigger sa pleasure ng aso kung wala naman tong sense sa kanya? Just like us human being, kapag hindi natin alam yung function ng kulturang meron tayo, we won't copy it. Hindi natin siya i-adapt. Kapag di natin alam yung sense bakit isinasagawa ang isang kultura, ang isang behavior, ang isang values, we will not respond to it. And yun yung status ng dog bago ang conditioning. Now, let's look. During the conditioning, ano kayang ginawa ni Pavlov na experiment? So, during the conditioning, what he did is he added bell plus food and nagkaroon ng unconditioned response yung aso. For a couple of days, ginawa niya yung nagpapatunog siya ng bell and then magbibigay siya ng food. Magpapatunog siya ng bell and then magbibigay siya ng food. Hanggang sa nasanay na yung dog na kapag nag-bell, there will be a food after that. Kaya kapag naririnig niya na yung bell, naglalaway na din siya because nasanay siya na kapag nag-bell, next to it is the food. Kaya kahit bell pa lang yung naririnig niya, naglalaway na siya kasi nasanay siya na after the bell, there will be a food. Using bell and food, it creates unconditioned response, automatic response. Ngayon, paano tayo magkakaroon ng conditioned response? Here comes the result when kapag nag-bell, naglalaway na agad yung aso. Kahit di ka na mag-abot ng food, kapag nag-bell, alam niya na yung response niya, na practice na naglalaway siya. Wherein sa ating mga tao, when we talk about culture, may mga tao na kapag narinig ng bad words ay automatically nagre-react sila violently. Kasi according to the culture sa kinalakihan nila, kapag nakakarinig sila ng mga ganong words, of course, there will be consequences after that. Wherein may ilan naman na tao or individual na kapag nakarinig ng bad words, it seems like nothing to them. There is no response. Because they don't really understand what it means. Hindi sila sinanay na kapag nakarinig ng bad words, sinasaway sila. Pero may mga individual na alam nila na kapag nakarinig sila ng bad words or nakapagsalita na sila ng bad words, there will be a consequences afterward. And that's what classical condition means according to Pavlov, which also relates to our topic, which is conditioning. Kinokondisyon natin ang mga tao how to adopt, how to react, how to respond into certain activities that will reflect as our culture batay sa kung paano natin inorient yung mga tao about our culture. Paano natin sila in-educate regarding the culture.